Shalom, this is Sombra Wilson reading Parsha Ki Tavo, When You Come, which is from Deuteronomy, Devarim 26, verses 1 to chapter 29, verse 8 or verse 9, depending on what version you're reading. I am reading from the CJB. When you have come into the land that Adonai, your God, is giving you as an inheritance, take possession of it and settle there. You are to take the firstfruits of all the crops the ground yields, which you will harvest from your lands that Adonai, your God, is giving you. Put them in a basket and go to the place where Adonai, your God, will choose to have his name live. You will approach the Kohen, holding office at the time, and say to him, Today I declare to Adonai, your God, that I have come to the land Adonai swore to your ancestors that he would give us. The Kohen will take the basket from your hand and put it down in front of the altar of Adonai, your God. Then, in the presence of Adonai, your God, you are to say, My ancestor was a nomad from Aram. He went down into Egypt, few in number, and stayed. There he became a great, strong, populous nation. But the Egyptians treated us badly. They oppressed us and imposed harsh slavery on us. So we cried out to Adonai, the God of our ancestors. Adonai heard us and saw our misery, toil, and oppression. And Adonai brought us out of Egypt with a strong hand and a stretched out arm, with great terror and with signs and wonders. And now he has brought us to this place and given us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Therefore, as you see, I have now brought the firstfruits of the land which you, Adonai, have given me. You are then to put the basket down before Adonai your God. Prostrate yourself before Adonai your God, and take joy in all the good that Adonai your God has given you, your household, the Levi, and the foreigner living with you. The Levi and the foreigner living with you. After you have separated a tenth of the crops yielded in the third year, the year of separating a tenth, and have given it to the Levi, the foreigner, the orphan, and the widows, so that they can have enough food to satisfy them while staying with you, you are to say in the presence of Adonai your God, I have rid my house of the things set aside for God, and given them to the Levi, the foreigner, the orphan, and the widow, in keeping with every one of the mitzvot that you gave me. I haven't disobeyed. I haven't disobeyed any of your mitzvot or forgotten them. I haven't eaten any of this food when mourning. I haven't put any of it aside when unclean, nor have I given any of it for the dead. I have listened to what Adonai my God has said, and I have done everything that you ordered me to do. Look out from your holy dwelling place from heaven, and bless your people, Israel, and the land that you gave us, as you swore to our ancestors, a land flowing with milk and honey. Today, Adonai your God orders you to obey these laws and rulings. Therefore, you are to observe and to obey them with all your heart and all your being. You are agreeing today that Adonai is your God and that you will follow his ways, observing his laws, mitzvot, and rulings, and do what he says. In turn, Adonai is agreeing today that you are his own unique treasure and has promised you that you are to observe all his mitzvot and that he will raise you high above all the nations he has made in praise, reputation, and glory, and that he has said, you will be a holy people for Adonai your God. Chapter 27. Then Moshe and all the leaders of Israel gave orders to the people. They said, Observe all the mitzvot that I am giving you today. When you cross the Yarden to the land of Adonai your God is giving you, you are to set up large stones put plaster on them, and after crossing over, write this Torah on them, every word, so that you can enter into the land Adonai your God is giving you, a land flowing with milk and honey, as Adonai, the God of your ancestors, promised you. When you have crossed the Yarden, you are to set up these stones, as I am ordering you today, on Mount Ebal, and put plaster on them. And there you are to erect an altar to Adonai your God, an altar made of stones. You are not to use any iron tools on them, but are to build the altar of Adonai your God of uncut stones, and you are to offer burnt offerings on it to Adonai your God. Also you are to sacrifice peace offerings. Eat there and be joyful in the presence of Adonai your God. You are to write on the stones all the words of this Torah very clearly. Next Moshe and the Kohanim, who are Levi'im, spoke to all Israel, and they said, "Be quiet and listen, Israel. Today you have become the people of Adonai, your God. Therefore you are to listen to what Adonai your God says and observe his mitzvot and laws, which I am giving you today." That same day Moshe commissioned the people as follows. They are the ones who are to stand on Mount Gerizim and bless the people after you have crossed the Yarden. Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Yosef, and Benjamin. Well, these are to stand on Mount Ebal for the curse. Reuven, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. The Levi'im, speaking loudly, will proclaim to every man of Israel, "A curse on anyone who makes a carved or metal image, something Adonai detests, the handiwork of a craftsman, and sets it up in secret." All the people are to respond by saying, "Amen." A curse on anyone who dishonors his father or mother. All the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who moves his neighbor's boundary marker. All the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who causes a blind person to lose his way on the road. And all the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who interferes with justice for the foreigner, orphan, or widow. All the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with his father's wife because he has violated his father's rights. All the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with a kind of animal. And all the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with his sister, no matter whether she is the daughter of his father or of his mother. And all the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who has sexual relations with his mother-in-law. And all the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who secretly attacks a fellow member of the community. All the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who accepts a bribe to kill an innocent person. And all the people are to say, "Amen." A curse on anyone who does not confirm the words of this Torah by putting them into practice. And all the people are to say, "Amen." Verse 28. If you listen closely to what Adonai your God says, observing and obeying all of his mitzvot, which I am giving you today, Adonai your God will raise you high above all the nations on earth. And all the following blessings will be yours in abundance if you will do what Adonai your God says. A blessing on you in the city, and a blessing on you in the countryside. A blessing on the fruit of your body, the fruit of your land, and the fruit of your livestock, the young of your cattle and flocks. A blessing on the grain basket and the kneading bowl. A blessing on you when you go out, and a blessing on you when you come in. Adonai will cause your enemies attacking you to be defeated before you. They will advance on you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Adonai will order a blessing to be with you in your barns and in everything that you undertake. He will bless you in the land Adonai your God is giving you. Adonai will establish you as a people separated out for himself, as he has sworn to you. If you will observe the mitzvot of Adonai your God and follow his ways, then all the people on earth will see that Adonai's name, his presence, is with you, so that they will be afraid of you. Adonai will give you great abundance of good things, and the fruit of your body, the fruit of your livestock, and the fruit of your land, in the land Adonai swore to your ancestors to give you. Adonai will open for you this good treasure, the sky, to give your land its rain at the right season, and to bless everything that you undertake. You will lend to many nations and not borrow. Adonai will make you the head and not the tail, and you will be only above, never below. If you will listen to, observe, and obey the mitzvot of Adonai your God, and not turn away after any of the words I am ordering you today, neither to the right nor to the left, to follow after other gods and to serve them. But if you refuse to pay attention to what Adonai your God says, and do not observe and obey all of his mitzvot and regulations, which I am giving you today, then all of the following curses will be yours in abundance. A curse on you in the city, and a curse on you in the countryside. A curse on your grain basket and kneading bowl. A curse on the fruit of your body and the fruit of your land and the young of your cattle and flock. A curse on you when you come in, and a curse on you when you go out. Adonai will send on you curses, disasters, and frustration in everything that you set out to do, until you are destroyed and quickly perish because of your evil actions in abandoning me. Adonai will bring on you a plague that will stay with you until he has exterminated you from the land you are entering in order to take possession of it. Adonai will strike you down with wasting diseases, fever, inflammation, fiery heat, drought, blasting winds, and mildew, and they will pursue you until you perish. The sky over your head will be brass, and the earth under you iron. Adonai will turn the rain your land needs into powder and dust that will fall on you from the sky until you are destroyed. Adonai your God will cause you to be defeated before your enemies. You will advance on them 1 way and flee before them 7. You will become an object of horror to every kingdom on earth. Your carcasses will become food for all the birds in the air and the wild animals, and there will be no one to scare them away. Adonai will strike you down with boils that broke out on the Egyptians, tumors, skin lesions, itching, and all incurable. Adonai will strike you with insanity, blindness, and utter confusion. You will grope about at noon like a blind person groping in the dark, unable to find your way. You will be continually oppressed and robbed, and there will be no one to save you. You will get engaged to a woman, but another man will marry her. You will build a house, but not live in it. You will plant a vineyard, but not use its fruit. Your ox will be slaughtered before your eyes, but you won't eat any of its meat. Your donkey will be taken away from you by force as you watch, and you won't get it back. Your sheep will be given to your enemies, and there will be no one to help you. Your sons and daughters will be handed over to another people. You will watch for them longingly all day, but not see them, and there will be nothing that you can do about it. A nation unknown to you will eat the fruit of your land and labor. Yes, you will be continually oppressed and crushed, till you go crazy from what your eyes have to see. Adonai will strike you down in the knee and legs with painful and incurable boils. They will spread from the soles of your foot to the crown of your head. Adonai will bring you and your king, whom you have put over yourself, to a nation that you have not known, neither you nor your ancestors, and there you will serve other gods made of wood and stone. You'll be so devastated as to become a proverb and a laughingstock among all the peoples to which Adonai will drive you. You will carry much seed out to the field, but gather little in, because locusts will devour it. You will plant vineyards and dress them, but neither drink wine nor gather the grapes, because worms will eat them. You will have olive trees throughout your territory, but not anoint yourself with the oil, because your olives will fall off unripe. You will father sons and daughters, but they won't belong to you, because they will go into captivity. The bugs will inherit all your trees and the produce of your land. The foreigner living with you will rise higher and higher, while you sink lower and lower. He will lend to you, but you will not lend to him, and he will be the head, and you will be the tail. All these curses will come upon you, pursuing you and overtaking you until you are destroyed, because you didn't pay attention to what Adonai, your God, said, observing his mitzvot and regulations that he gave you. These curses will be on you and your descendants as a sign and a wonder forever, because you didn't serve Adonai, your God, with joy and gladness in your heart when you had such an abundance of everything. Adonai will send your enemies against you, and you will serve him when you are hungry, thirsty, poorly clothed, and lacking everything. He will put a yoke of iron on your neck until he destroys you. Yes, Adonai will bring against you a nation from far away that will swoop down on you from the ends of the earth like a vulture. A nation whose language you don't understand. A nation grim in appearance, whose people neither respect the old nor pity the young. They will devour the offspring of your livestock and the produce of your soil until you have been destroyed. They will leave you without grain, wine, olive oil, or your young cattle and sheep until they have caused you to perish. They will besiege all of your towns until your high fortified walls in which you trusted collapse, and everywhere in your land which Adonai your God gave you. And then, because of the severity of the siege and distress that your enemies are inflicting on you, you will eat the offspring of your own body and the flesh of your own sons and daughters, whom Adonai your God has given you. Even the most gentle and sensitive man among you will be without pity for his brother, his beloved wife, or his surviving children, to the degree that he will refuse to share with any of them the flesh of his children whom he is eating, because if he did, he would have nothing left for himself. In the severity of the siege and the distress of your enemies are inflicted on you in all your towns. The most delicate and sensitive woman among you, so sensitive and delicate that she wouldn't think of touching the sole of her foot to the ground, will so begrudge her own beloved husband, son, and daughter, that she will secretly eat the afterbirth that comes out of her, and even her own children as she bears them. So desperately hungry will she be in the severity of the siege and distress your enemies are inflicting on you in your towns. If you will not observe and obey all the words of this Torah that are written in this book, so that you will fear the glorious and awesome name Adonai your God, then Adonai will strike you and your descendants with extraordinary plagues and severe sickness that go on and on. He will bring back upon you all the diseases of the Egyptians had, which you were in dread of, and they will cling to you. Not only that, but Adonai will bring upon you all the sicknesses and plagues that are not written in this book of the Torah until you are destroyed. You will be left few in number, whereas you were once numerous as the stars in the sky, because you did not pay attention to the voice of Adonai your God. Thus it will come about that just as once Adonai took joy in seeking to do you good and increase your numbers, so now Adonai will take joy in causing you to perish and be destroyed, and you will be plucked off the land that you are entering in order to take possession of it. Adonai will scatter you among all the peoples from one end of the earth to the other, and there you will serve other gods made of wood and stone, which neither you nor your ancestors have known. Among these nations you will not find repose. You will not find repose, and there will be no rest for the sole of your foot. Rather, Adonai will give you the anguish of heart, dimness of eyes, and apathy of spirit. Your life will hang in doubt before you. You will be afraid night and day, and have no assurance that you will stay alive. In the morning you will say, "Oh, how I wish it were evening." And in the evening you will say, "Oh, how I wish it were morning," because of the fear overwhelming your heart and the sights your eyes will see. Finally, Adonai will bring you back in ships to Egypt, the place of which I said to you, you will never see it again. And there you will try to sell yourself as slaves to your enemies, but no one will buy you. These are the words of the covenant which Adonai ordered Moshe to make with the people of Israel in the land of Moab, in addition to the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. Chapter 29. And then Moshe summoned all Israel and said to them, "You saw everything that Adonai did before your eyes in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh, to all his servants, and to all his land, the great testing which you saw with your own eyes, and the signs and those great wonders. Nevertheless, to this day, Adonai has not given you a heart to understand, eyes to see, or ears to hear. I led you 40 years in the desert. Neither the clothes on your body nor the shoes on your feet wore out. You didn't eat bread, and you didn't drink wine or other intoxicating liquor. This was so that you would know that I am Adonai your God. When you arrived at this place, Sihon, the king of Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, advanced against us in battle, and we defeated them, took their land, and gave it as an inheritance to the Reuven, the Gadi, and the Manasseh. Therefore, observe the words of this covenant and obey them, so that you can make everything you do prosper." And this has been the reading of Parsha Ki Tavo.